Hey everyone, I am Melissa Walker and I wanted to share something with you that really struck me today. So, I was actually on my way into work and I ran into a coworker, and of course I had a smile on my face and a spring in my step, and I said, "Good morning, how are you?" And the response was, I am living the dream. Well, first and foremost, hey Angie, first and foremost, that phrase makes me crazy. And so many people say it. Because the reason I get so frustrated when I hear it is because I know that 9 times out of 10, the person that's responding is being sarcastic. So I started thinking, if I'm saying to you, "Hello, how are you?" and your response is, "Oh, I'm living the dream," then I have to wonder if that's sarcasm. And the majority of our life, sadly, if you are a full-time working, outside your home, you're spending the majority of your time in a place outside your family, outside your home. And to be miserable in that just like breaks my heart. I was there for many years, and one day it was like, enough is enough. I can't do this anymore. Something has to change. And so I made a decision and I made a change. Is every day perfect? And do I wake up, with roses and sunshine? No, I don't. But you're not going to hear me say I'm living the dream in a sarcastic manner. And so it just continued to eat at me today as I was thinking about it, because so many people spend the majority of their life in a very miserable, very negative mindset. And so I thought to myself, okay, we only get one shot at this, right? We only get one life. We get one chance. So if you're in a place where you're not truly living what your dream is, then you have to ask yourself, what is it you're really dreaming of? What kind of dream are you really after? I know for me personally, I am in a place in my life, some of the dreams that I have, and I'm not talking about, what did you dream of being when you were a child? I'm talking about what does it look like in your mind, in your spirit, in your being? What does it look like to truly be living the dream? What does that look like to you? Because it's going to look different to different people. For me, living the dream means that I am in a place of contentment. It means that my soul is in a place of peace and rest, regardless of how hard I might be working. It means that, I am full of joy, and I enjoy being happy and lighthearted. Now, that's an area I have to work on, because I can typically be more like serious than I am, joking and lighthearted. And so I have to kind of tap back into that. Sometimes you're like, at some point, you're not sure, how did you get to where you are? I used to be this person who just like lived life by the seat of my pants, and I had a great time. And, then all of a sudden things got serious and I had to plan things. Hey, Marie. And I personally, for my living the dream, it is really to get back into touch with that part of me that really just had a great time, no matter who I was with, no matter what I was doing, no matter where I was. But, living the dream for people is different. But for me to hear someone say I'm living the dream and it's sarcasm, it hurts my heart. I don't like to hear that people are in a place of negativity. I don't like to hear that people are miserable in their jobs. And I don't think that we're created to be that way, because at the end of the day, at the end of that work day, it's going to affect your personal life. It's going to affect your family. It's going to affect activities. That negativity is just going to continue to snowball. And so we look at our society as a whole and we think, what is going on? What is happening? There's so much hard and so much seriousness going on. And your heart breaks for all the tragedies and the devastation. And, it can really weigh you down. But each and every day, and I have people who ask me, how do you stay so positive? How are you so upbeat? How are you, this takes work. It takes a choice every single day. I have to wake up with the intention of living my day on purpose, living my life on purpose, because I'm going to impact the people I encounter today. Whether I want to or not, I'm going to. So I can either choose to impact them in a negative way, or I can choose to impact them in a positive way, right? So I want to make sure that when I get out of bed in the morning, regardless of where I am, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, regardless of where I am, I know that I'm going to encounter other human beings today. And I want it to be positive. My life's ambition is to leave people better than I find them. And that's not going to happen if I'm negative. It's not going to happen if I'm just saying things that aren't kind. Do I fall short? Absolutely. Are some days a lot harder than other days? You better believe it. But I think that we just go through the motions so much, and we don't really even realize how much is being wasted. So my call to action, so to speak, for you is this. This is the month, the month of the attitude of gratitude. What are you thankful for? People are showing and sharing things on social media. I know I just saw Starbucks, I think during certain times of the month, they're doing a buy one, get one free so that you can pass that on to someone else. Now, yes, this is a big thing for the month, but it should be what we do all year long. So if you're in a place of negativity, so whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your job, whether it is in, relationships or finances, or maybe, your physical self is struggling and you're having health issues, wherever you are, I want you to do one kind thing for someone tomorrow. Do one kind thing for someone else tomorrow and just see how that makes you feel. Because if we're wanting change in our world, if we're wanting change in our communities, if we're wanting change in our workplace, if we're wanting change in our families, it has to start with us. And the only way you're going to change that is if you make a decision and you choose to make a change every single day. So by simply smiling at people, opening the door for someone, saying hello to someone, asking them how they are, and truly meaning, how are you, and wanting to hear their response, those are ways that we're going to start touching people's lives in a positive way. And then you have the ripple effect, because when someone touches my life in a positive way, you better believe I want to go do that for someone else, because it feels wonderful. Pay someone a compliment. If you're in line at the store or something and, maybe you're at a Starbucks or a Dunkin' Donuts or wherever it is that you frequent, if you're buying something that's only a couple of bucks and you can spare the extra change to buy it for the next person, do it. If you see someone who's struggling in a store who, they're counting their pennies, offer to pay for their groceries. You have the Secret Santa that people talk about. This is that time of year. And I think a lot of times we think of it being the end of the year. I want it to be the beginning. If you're not already doing these kinds of things, if you're not already putting this into practice, I want this to be what kicks off. What kicks off for you. Let this month be what kicks it off for you. That you may be able to say, I'm living the dream. Guys, I will tell you, my husband and I were just talking the other day, and I said, we spent a lot of time and a lot of years in the bar. And I mean in the bar, long hours and every other day. To think that we are Sunday school teachers for high school students is really quite remarkable. To think that we just recently adopted a little boy. To think that we would ever go on mission trips to third world countries. Like, it is truly amazing to know, if you knew us before and you know us now, how did this happen? I will tell you that a lot of the things that we do right now, the things that we do as like service for other people, are things that we talked about on the bar stool. They're things that when we went into that euphoric moment, you know, when you've had just a little too much to drink, that we would talk about some of our dreams and some of the things that we wanted to do. We talked about adoption. We talked about doing something that helped teenagers. We talked about going on, doing service, like big service projects. And, you know, in our workplace at the time, we were still involved in doing good things for other people, but we just didn't know how to get bigger. And, you know, we found our church that we currently attend. We have just made some amazing connections with our church family. They have guided us into the right direction, thankfully, by the grace of God. And, you know, my husband and I both do things to honor God and all that He's done for us. So I don't ever want you to think that what we share and what we say is boastful, because that is definitely not where our heart is. But we want you to know that we weren't always like this. And if you're in a place like we used to be and that sometimes still fall into, it's okay. We don't have to be perfect. Nobody is perfect. And, you know, we are far from perfect. But I will tell you, if someone asked me the question, the statement, live in the dream, are you living it or are you being sarcastic? I would tell you, hands down, 1,000,000%. We are living dreams that we had on our hearts a long time ago. And it truly is amazing when you start to see those dreams unravel, when you start to see things come to fruition. It truly is like modern day miracle. So I want you to, you know, go out there and be a light for someone else. Do something kind for someone. Put on a servant's heart for a day and just see what that looks like. And, you know, let that fill your soul and see how much better it makes you feel. Because I will tell you, your personal problems are still going to be there. But when you have a servant's heart and you're doing things for other people, that whole live in the dream, it starts to become a reality that you really are living a dream that you had. And so regardless of where you are in your life right now, my prayer is that you would truly start to, you know, if God's talking and He's working on your heart, that you would hear what He has to say. Because I will guarantee you that He will meet you right where you are. Even if it's on the bar stool, He will meet you right where you are, and He will take your hand and He will guide you into the direction that He's already created for you. So that is something I wanted to share. It was on my heart. I hope that you guys are truly living the dream. And if you're not, then change it. Change what you're doing. Life is too short. It's too short. It's too precious. The people you love, they should matter more than, you know, living a life that's mostly miserable, right? Right. So join me in choosing every single day to go out there and make this the best day. Every day. Make it the best day possible. And I hope this helps you. I hope it gives you some encouragement. And I guess I'll be talking to you again soon. All right, guys, thank you for joining. And as always, if you have anything that's going on that you need prayer for, I am always happy to hear from you. Okay? Love ya. I'll see you later.